Bishkek is the city where I was born. It wouldn't be a lie to say that it is an interesting place for sure. This city is almost 2 centuries old, and it has been part of 4 different countries. Today I would describe Bishkek as the city of new malls, KFC restaurants, and modern apartment buildings. The city of old Soviet architecture, old, mostly grey and depressing commie blocks. The city of constant construction work and horrible infrastructure that can literally make you lose your life. In this film I intend to show the city from the perspective of a regular person who lives here. I will film and show some of the most interesting modern and historic places of Bishkek, as well as some natural beauty, of course. For the sake of experiment, I will be using only my bike to move around the city, to see if it is even possible to effectively move around the city using just a bike. This is why the camera might be shaky from time to time. Maybe it's not exactly the greatest idea ever, but I'm gonna give it a try nonetheless. Bishkek was founded in 1825 by the Khanate of Kokand as a fortress. In 1860, the Russian Empire annexed the region. Then in 1922 it became a part of the Soviet Union. In 1991, when Kyrgyzstan became an independent state, Bishkek became the capital of a newly merged country. The first place that I would like to show you is the Central Mosque. Right now the vast majority of ethnically Kyrgyz people are Sunni Muslims. Islam religion came to the region as long ago as the 8th century. The Soviet Union was officially an anti-theist country, so religion was practically outlawed. And after the collapse of the USSR, Islam emerged again with new vigor. The Central Mosque is the biggest mosque in the city, and its capacity is roughly 20,000 people. This mosque was opened in 2018. The construction project was financed by Turkey. This is not the only big mosque, of course. More and more religious Islamic temples are being erected in Bishkek. You can find a mosque practically anywhere you go. There are also churches in the city. Over 16% of the population are Russians, and most of them are Orthodox Christians. Thus, most churches are Orthodox. The Holy Resurrection Cathedral is the biggest church in the city. On the main square called Maratov, you can find the flag of Kyrgyzstan and the statue of Manas, who is a legendary hero of a poem called The Epic of Manas. Before there was a statue called Erkindik, which literally translates as freedom or liberty from Kyrgyz language. Before that, there was a statue of Lenin. You can find the statue of Lenin in the park behind the History Museum. Speaking of the History Museum, the entrance costs 200 soms. When I was approaching it, I wasn't really sure whether I'd be allowed to film inside or not. I wasn't allowed to film or to use my camera inside. However, the museum administration allowed me to take some pictures on my phone. If Manas was a fictional hero, Kurmanjan Datka was a real person. She was the leader of southern Kyrgyz people. She died in 1907 at the age of 96. There are a lot of monuments and statues scattered across the city in different places. And this here is the White House, the government building. It used to be surrounded by the fence, but a few years ago the fence was torn down. If you feel like criticizing the government standing with some kind of poster, better not do it here. It's not exactly the most democratic place in the world. This monument is dedicated to those who were killed during the 2010 insurrection, which overthrew the corrupt autocratic government of Kurmanbek Bakiyev, the second president of the country. From the main square, let's move someplace else. In Bishkek you can buy practically anything you want in the bazaar. Dordo is by far the biggest bazaar in the city. It is located in the northern part of Bishkek and was founded in 1991 as a transshipment point between the People's Republic of China and Central Asia. Dordo is truly huge. If you need something, you can definitely find it here. Most stuff arrives directly from China. This is the only place where I didn't go on my bike. It's just too far from the center of the city, and there is no sufficient infrastructure to get here. Osh Bazaar is another huge market. It is almost like a small town within a town. Bazaar culture is very strong in Bishkek, and a lot of folks still buy everything in bazaars, everything from food to clothes, even though there are supermarkets and malls. On the way to Osh Bazaar, I went past the National Philharmonic Hall. And just as I expected, using a bike only wasn't exactly the greatest idea since infrastructure is quite terrible in many places. There aren't many bike lanes, and those that exist aren't separate infrastructure, but a part of the pedestrian sidewalk. A lot of people are not aware of what bike lanes are for, so riding a bike might not be the safest endeavor in this city. The infrastructure has been neglected for a very long time. Construction work happens somewhere all the time. During one of filming days, a heavy rain struck the city. This is what the sidewalk turned into. A girl behind me almost drowned. Those are infamous Soviet commie blocks. They look depressing both outside and inside as well. However, they are still better for living than newly built apartment buildings. The city is rapidly expanding. New apartment buildings are being constructed everywhere, even where they shouldn't be constructed. You can buy an apartment here, even though there isn't even decent infrastructure here yet, and to be honest, probably won't be. They built the whole new district, but there are still no roads to get here. I almost got killed here, believe me or not. This place is dangerous for life. If you wanna know why these buildings are allowed to be built in the first place, the answer is corruption. Kyrgyzstan is ranked number 141 by Corruption Perception Index, which is among the highest levels of corruption in the whole world. Most new buildings are surrounded by fences, and it is incredibly hard to just sneak inside. There are many expensive restaurants and cheap fast food places. The most popular fast food place is KFC. The first KFC restaurant opened relatively recently, in 2019, and right now there are over 10 KFC restaurants in different places across Bishkek. KFC truly became a huge part of local culture, and local cuisine, believe me or not. Maratov is the oldest movie theater in Bishkek. It was opened in 1938 and it's still functioning, although it's closed now for some repair work. You cannot enter this place without a ticket, not even to visit the bathroom. The security guard simply won't let you in. Trust me, I tried. The tickets can be acquired in the small box office. Another old movie theater, an example of Soviet architecture, is Chatırköy, but it's not functioning anymore. The building is neglected completely. We can try to take a look inside. There is just rubble. In recent years, more and more malls have been opened. Asia Mall is by far the biggest mall in the whole Kyrgyzstan. Cosmo Park is my favorite movie theater in the city. It's located in the quiet southern part of Bishkek. It is a comfortable place with a big IMAX theater which opened in July 2016. The first movie that was demonstrated in IMAX was Star Trek Beyond. Despite uncontrollable expansion, there are still green parks and alleys remaining in the city. Panfilov Park is one of the oldest amusement parks in Bishkek. A turtle greets you when you enter it. The bear from a famous Russian cartoon looks pretty terrifying. I took a ride on a local Ferris wheel, and this is what I managed to film. When I was a child, my favorite amusement park used to be Flamingo Park. It was a magical place when I was a child. However, today it's not nearly as amazing as it once was. Maybe because I grew old, or maybe because this place really got worse. I'm honestly not quite sure. One of the hallmarks of the city these days. You pay 20 soms to punch this thing and check your physical strength. The botanical garden certainly disappointed me. It's not a place where I would want to spend my time. This is the entrance. This is the first thing that greeted me. I wonder what's inside this tank. These buildings look deserted. Like a zombie apocalypse or something like that happened. If you'd like a cup of coffee, coffee is everywhere. Just like grocery stores these days. You can move around the city using a bus. However, using the bus has become way too expensive. It's 17 soms for one ride if you have a special card, and 20 soms if you have no card. If you have to use the bus a lot, the price is way too heavy. This is the American University of Central Asia, the most prestigious and most expensive university in the whole country. Annual tuition fees here are over $5,000, which is a lot of money for regular local people. I probably can't get inside if I'm not a student here or if I'm not visiting someone, but I've been inside a couple of times and I must say that it looks really good inside. But I can show you the Kyrgyzstan Technical University. This university was opened back in 1954. It doesn't look fancy inside, it's just a typical Soviet building. This place can take you back in time. I came here after the rain and had to be creative about living without wet shoes. So-called Lake of Love. Street art is present in the city. What you definitely cannot deny is the beautiful view. Mountains are definitely gorgeous and they are like guards watching the city. Let's take a look at Bishkek from above. I had to climb up the hill and it wasn't easy, but it was definitely worth it. It's windy up here, but peaceful. The way back, however, was much more challenging. Fountains in the park are beautiful during the sunlight, but they are even better at night. And this is Bishkek through the eyes of a regular person. It's an average post-Soviet city that always changes, but not always for the better. Visit it and you'll surely find something interesting in this city in the valley.